Now, I guess a smart man would be like, no, don't do it. Don't mount your subs, or I mean, I should edit that out, but I'm not going to. Don't mount your amplifiers to your subwoofer enclosure. But for real, you shouldn't. And I know I say that in front of a wall of amplifiers. And hell, it gets even worse, guys. Mids and highs amps. But here's the thing. You know, if you got one of them little, I don't even know what they're called. You know, the Q-bombs, Scar prefabbed, Walmart prefabbed, your local car radio shop prefabbed, don't do it. I mean, most of them enclosures are definitely made with questionable at best materials. And that's not really what you want. You know, I've seen them cheap enclosures made out of particle board, half-inch MDF, and tons of other things that just aren't worth a crap. Some of them are made out of plywood that's, you know, 3/4 inch, 1 layer thick, no good. You know, now if you went out to somebody like, say, Kerry Stahl and had him build you an enclosure, then yeah, you could probably get away with it. Or Walt Johnson, or somebody that actually, you know, builds enclosures, or somebody in your area that has a really good reputation for building enclosures. You could probably get away with it. And then, you know, I've seen people use everything from little rubber pegs you put on the bottom of feet, like chair legs or whatever. I'm just, you know. But anyway, use a little rubber spacer. Hell, I've seen people use hockey pucks. And no. I mean, DB Works even had these little like isolators and rubber that you put on there that they pretty much don't do a whole lot, guys, to be honest with you. I mean, I know a lot of people swear by them, and it is what it is. Now, when you get into guys like me that have a nice wall set up or a big wall set up, even then it's questionable. Because I be scrolling the old face page, and I see people do a wall like mine, and you know, I mean, they'll go like 2 layers of 3/4 at best. And I'm just like, really, guy? Really? That's what you're gonna call an enclosure? You know, sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, I guess it is what it is. But then, in that scenario, I wouldn't mount an amplifier to that enclosure. Because honestly, I've seen people do 2 layers with no bracing. I mean, they might have 1 piece of 2x4 down in the bottom chamber, you know, holding the baffle up. And I'm just blown away by it, because I did all 3 layer. The wife's built all 3 layer. And in my video from Sunday, where we're pulling out the wife's subwoofers, doing some port work, you can kind of look in when I'm filming in there through them sub holes, and you'll see all of that steel bracing supporting that baffle. And that's a 3-layer baffle. So what I'm getting at is, in here, yeah, I have my amplifiers mounted to my enclosure, 'cause I don't have nowhere else to put them. And I'm 3 layers thick and steel bracing everywhere. And I mean, you can tell, you know, that whole back wall, there's a split in it that goes straight across like that, where my baffle is there, you know, separating the bottom chamber and top. And that's a lot of support. Because when I was doing this, I was putting, I think, 3.5-inch screws through the 3 layers to run all the way through into that baffle. And everything is glued. And it does make a difference, guy. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You can take 1 sheet, stack another sheet up there, put screws in it, add a 3rd sheet, put screws in it, and it's not going to be great. because there's still going to be vibration between them. But now when you take that first layer and you got the second layer and you cover that second layer with Titebond glue or your favorite wood glue and smear it out and brush it and stick it up there, then it becomes one. And that's better than two that are just screwed together. And then so on with the third. So yeah, when you get the wood that thick and you get all the bracing and everything, then you can actually mount your amplifiers and stuff to the enclosure, because honestly, in here, my enclosure has less vibration than everything else in the car. Like, it is the most stable spot in here. I don't have no isolators. You know, I'm not using the little DB Works things or hockey pucks or pieces of rubber hose or whatever, you know. I've seen people actually take the cutoff pieces from their 1/0 or 2/0 wire and just squish it down and put a screw through it, you know. I've seen people do that, honestly, which works about as good as anything else. But the whole point is, I wouldn't if I didn't have to. I wouldn't have anything mounted to the enclosure if I didn't have to. I'm not, you know, just because they say that does kill amplifiers. I'm friends on Facebook with like Kevin Kruger and Shane and Mark Candy. I know Mark Candy personally, you know. They don't really recommend that you mount your amplifiers to your enclosure, and they're amp repair guys. In here, like I said, it's probably the safest place to mount them. And a lot of bass heads builds, it is probably the safest place to mount them. Because once you build an enclosure properly or overbuild, which you definitely should do, then you wind up with a scenario like I have in here, where it is definitely the least amount of vibration at that location. I could have been a rapper. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I wouldn't on a small build. A big build, definitely, it don't matter. In here, like I said, everything's so thick and overbuilt, and the wife's Blazer, you know, the enclosure is so thick and overbuilt. And then I've seen, like I said, I've seen people do wall builds, especially the guys that build them little walls on the ground and slide the whole thing in. Do they work? Yeah. Am I a fan of them? Absolutely not, because they're nowhere near as like sturdy as when you build it into the vehicle. Now, I see their point, you know. Like, if I want to build a Hummer really bad, and if I had a nice Hummer, you know, it would be terrible just to get in there, rip all the panels out, and start using PL3X to glue wood to the roof and to the floor and everything. And that's where a slide-in enclosure would definitely be beneficial. I mean, I would still build in the Hummer. I ain't even gonna lie, guys. I'd rip that shit. I'd glue all the wood straight to it, because that's what I would build it for, and I would do my best to my ability and knowledge to build it. So, I mean, it would definitely be built as part of the car, but I can understand why some of the guys out there want to do the old slide in. So, you know, I guess if the bank comes to repo it, they can slide it back out, or they just don't want to mess up a car. That's why I definitely recommend for everybody to get an old ship box, you know, off the old Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. I mean, is Craigslist still a thing? I haven't heard nothing about it in like 5 years. But anyway, the old Facebook Marketplace. Get you a little SUV beater. You know, something's got front end damage or whatever. And build that, because you don't really want to build up a nice car to destroy. I mean, I would a H2, I ain't even gonna lie. I would definitely build it to, you know, to do this. But that's just the way I roll. So, I mean, if you're watching this and you have a H2 Hummer, you know, and you'd like to trade it for a Jeep ship box, I mean, we could talk. I even leave the subs in here. I'm taking my amps though. But I mean, we could talk. I'll leave the doors, you know. But anyway, yeah, there's different scenarios on how this you know, goes down. But if you're building 3 layers thick, guys, there's no reason that you shouldn't be able to mount your amplifiers to your enclosure. There's no reason it shouldn't be the like thickest and most stable part of your vehicle. So by all means, but if you're got a little prefab Q-bomb box or whatever, I'd try to find a different place. But I'm rambling on again, guys. You can definitely tell it's my Monday. But anyway, guys, I hope y'all have a great day. Do something you enjoy. The weather's been kind of warm here, and I've been loving it. But anyway, guys, peace out. And as always, dude, face on.